Gay Trump insurrectionist Brandon Straka threatened Queer News Tonight with libel. Now he's convicted. October 16th of 2020 seems a lifetime ago. The election had not yet happened, and the Happening Out television network produced a unique LGBTQ plus political debate here at Sunshine Cathedral. One of the stars of the debate was GOP activist and founder of #Walkaway and Trump Best Bud, Brandon Straka. Watch this.
The question is, will there be a peaceful transition of power? If Donald Trump gets elected, I think that there's no reason to assume so, because there still hasn't been a peaceful transition of power since Trump was elected in 2016. Until Donald Trump got elected, I didn't realize that mental illness was contagious. That's when we began to see everybody on the political left in this country. First, it was the Russia collusion delusion. Then it was impeach, impeach, impeach. Now Nancy Pelosi's trying to say that he's not fit for office. It has been 4 years of refusal to admit that Donald Trump won a duly elected presidency. So we have absolutely no reason to assume that the Democrats will have a peaceful transition of power. Now, on the flip side, we, after watching this circus for the last 4 years, have every reason to believe that the Democrats will cheat, because that's what they always do. And if we have evidence that they cheat, you bet your ass we're going to make sure that this election was won fairly and squarely.
Ooh, he's regretting those words now. Queer News Tonight reported that Straka served as a speaker for an event, of course, the events leading up to the insurrection. In addition, he took part in storming the Capitol, which he filmed to be later posted online. When Queer News Tonight reported on this, he texted me personally, denying the events and claiming that we were lying. During the assault of the building, Straka encouraged the masses to push past police and then later encouraged some to take a policeman's shield. He did not enter the Capitol building. He was later arrested, and his social media videos and tweets were used against him by the prosecution. Straka signed a plea deal with prosecutors to provide information about the events that led and participated in for January 6. Though he has denied being an informant in various social media posts, according to his publicly available plea deal, Straka had to provide law enforcement agents with copies of any social media accounts, postings, videos, or photos that he still had access to, as well as sit for an interview with law enforcement regarding events in and around January 6, 2021. In exchange for this cooperation, prosecutors agreed to recommend a lighter sentence. After a series of delays, Brandon Straka was sentenced on Monday to 3 months of home detention wearing a GPS tracker, as well as 36 months of probation. He was also ordered to pay $500 in restitution to the architect of the Capitol, a $5,000 fine, and sentenced to community service. And we remind you that Brandon Straka is identified as the top LGBT face associated with the insurrection of January 6th and the American Capitol building.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's worth mentioning what we were just seeing there on the side of the screen too, was your text conversation with him.
We've published for the first time the complete, if we could show that again, for the first time we're showing the complete text conversation that I had with Brandon. And we reported that he appeared in Washington related to Stop the Steal. He said retract. Basically, I'm summarizing the text that you're seeing. Retracted, or you'll be hearing from my attorney or attorneys and suggesting that we committed libel. And we found the documentation. He said he was not present. We found the documentation of a deleted video of him being pepper sprayed and him filming it and the people accessing into the Capitol building. We reported that. And then the process of him reporting, when we reported that, he went silent and no longer was threatening that he was going to sue me or Queer News Tonight, because we provided the proof of it. And then, of course, the serving warrant and the process of Straka's involvement in January 6th. Telling. The entire thing is telling, isn't it?
Very much. I think everybody involved in the January 6th insurrection should not be tried for disorderly conduct, should not be tried for trespass. They should all be tried for treason. They literally tried to stop a constitutionally required process. They should all be tried for treason and spend the rest of their lives in a supermax. Supermax, by the way, is not what we call Max Fenning on Halloween.
She got jokes.
You know what's
Yeah, come to Villain.
That was good. That was good. You know what's especially satisfying? That someone like this that has been so seemingly gutsy in the past and so outspoken and threatening libel and this and that and having such a loud voice at the round table that we showed earlier here at Sunshine Cathedral with a ton of egg on his face now. It's like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
You should have seen the writing on the wall. And it's interesting to me, the whole concept of having an LGBTQ plus supporter of Trump is still anathema to everything that I am as a cisgender gay man of color living in this community. So it's shocking to me to see these people that have been so outspoken, but very satisfying to see them fall like this guy has fallen
Just,
now.
Max, to interrupt you just 1 second, then we'll come to you. Just as a reminder to Tony's point, estimates and polling suggest that 27% of the LGBTQ community voted for Donald Trump in 2020.
Well, that just reminds you that whiteness overrides anything, including your sexual orientation. So no matter maybe you're queer and you hang out with a lot of liberal people, you know, if you haven't had a certain experience or you're not exposed to certain kind of people, you're not going to change. You're not going to evolve in your mentality. And that's what I think happens, especially in the state of Florida, which, by the way, we have a record for the most insurrectionists. So we do. So far, 77, I believe it's 70-something Floridians were involved. So that's the only records we can break,
number
right?
one.
Really keeping up that Florida man stereotype.
We never let
No, you know, I think I do agree with what Tony said about you know, the satisfaction of, you know, you see those texts and he's like, just send, and he just says, you know, just short response, just send me the link whenever you revoke your statement, and then
You know,
and
one final thought here. I personally have gone through a lot of guilt on this, because through the process of 2019, and it's happening out, and then 2020 for Queer News Tonight, and it's happening out in our programs, I tried very, very hard to represent in our news programs the conservative point of view in the LGBTQ community. As bizarre and crazy as I thought Donald Trump was, I tried my best not to disrespect the conservative LGBTQ voice, up to even doing that debate. And when the supporters of Brandon Straka, he had 500,000 followers. 500,000 followers. Mm-hmm. This is substantial. This is not a micro organization of thought. When they got out of hand at Sunshine Cathedral, I admonished them clearly and strictly and said, we will have you removed from this town hall debate. And it stopped. I gave them every opportunity to reasonably present point of view for education that leads to this. When he was participating in that town hall, it never really dawned on me that it would lead to what we saw on January 6th. And I have guilt about it, because I gave the platform opportunity of free speech and debate and exchange of ideas with people that didn't embrace the same democratic principles, which is what led to January 6th. And it's a guilt that I still process, which is why we've spent so much time on this story and his sentencing and the reveal of the release of the text messages that I had with Brandon Straka over this issue. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire